far, I don't think anybody has joined early this morning. I was hoping to catch a few of you who had early working hours. I'm going to try to reschedule one for the coming week. If you could email me some days and times when you're available, it can even be later in the evening, 10 o'clock maybe, if that works for people. I know that the work schedules are varied. So that I can answer questions, possibly to prepare for the exam. I did want to touch base a little bit. Aneda, good morning. I can't hear, but that I'm trying to see if my there you go.
Hello.
Good morning. Good morning, Aneda. Nice to meet you. I'm glad you could join me this morning.
Yes, nice meeting you also.
It's always nice seeing people's faces. Probably I'm kind of guessing that you'll be the only one on this morning so early.
Okay.
But I was just getting ready to kind of talk about the midterm exam and give a few tips and suggestions for the final, because the final will be a similar format.
Okay.
And basically what I wanted to do was to make sure that people included a lot of detail when you're answering the questions. I'm thinking back on your exam. I think you did provide a bit of detail. I can't remember specifically unless I pulled it up. But as people are answering questions, it's really important. My internet here is not very good.
Yeah, you are like going in and out.
Going in and out, great. Okay, I'm in Asheville, North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
So sorry about that. Anyway, so making sure you go to your notes and put very specific examples and tie it back to teaching all the time. So I know in one of your responses, you're keeping up really well with your work. So you're kind of ahead of the game, which is good. But one of your responses was really good, and it was the one where you answered the question or did the reflection, and then you kind of said, here's my personal experience, and this is how it's connected. I don't know if you remember that assignment or not, but so that strengthens, well, yeah, that's okay. That strengthens your answer. So anytime you can do that when you're in an essay for a final, it will earn you more points. And I will be stricter on the final than I was on the midterm.
Okay.
Because did you receive my email?
I did.
Okay. I know that Randolph's email was down again.
Yeah.
So this has been I'm a little worried about the online classes because I'm not sure people are getting the emails or they're not getting the emails. So
I was able to get my email.
Okay, good. So anyway, just include that detail when you're answering those essay questions. Did you have any specific questions about the midterm?
No, not necessarily. I was just looking, I was just more worried about the final and the final paper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I just kind of skimmed through the final paper, like the requirements.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, you're taking a topic that you're interested in learning more about.
Okay.
And so you're going to do a little bit of research on your own.
Okay.
So you can go outside of Moodle and, go to the library, online. JSTOR is a good source to use for education articles. And just find a couple of articles, 2 or 3 articles. I'd have to pull up the requirements because, of course, I don't have those at the top. I've taught 4 classes this summer, so.
Oh, okay.
Trying to keep them straight. So for the paper, 2 or 3 resources, and I'm pulling up the syllabus right now. And the most important thing is that you read whatever resources you're using a couple of times so you really understand them, and then go to the Moodle sources. So let's say that you're talking about children learning math in kindergarten and first grade.
Okay.
Right? What are strategies that work best for young children? So say that if that was your topic, I would expect you to also pull in developmental theory.
Okay.
And be able to tell me, so if you're saying that using math manipulatives in kindergarten and first grade is the best way for children to learn math, then you would also go back to Piaget in concrete operational phase, students developing their own understanding, right? And Vygotsky, social, working together with other children. The teacher is the expert, other peers as the expert. So you would bring in that developmental theory as well as the idea about a strategy.
Okay.
So you want to try to tie a lot of the things that you've been learning into that paper.
Okay.
Okay. And then also APA formatting. Are you familiar with APA?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So just make sure that everything's cited, both in-text citations, your reference list is complete, and that I'm not really picky about all the, I just want to see that you've looked at APA, either OWL Purdue or you have an APA book, and that also that you've edited very carefully. I will correct for grammar and sentence structure, because that's key if you're going to be a teacher, that you can write well and communicate well with parents. Okay. Now you took another class this summer, right, with Dr. Howell?
Yes.
Right. So you're a Randolph student?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what year are you entering next year?
I will be a second semester junior. I'm actually a psychology and sociology major.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah. Well, these are good classes for you to have for both of those. So, they'll help with either one of those majors. What do you hope to do?
I want to do counseling. I want to work with kids in the school systems.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. Great. Yeah. Well, both of these classes will help you in that respect. So, so I guess if you've been in either one of those disciplines, you use APA, both in communication, right? And definitely psychology. So, okay, good. So that makes a lot of sense, that as I'm reading your stuff, the detail that you're putting in. So I think it's going well. Did you have any questions about any of the assignments or?
No, not necessarily. I just know the extra credit, the one for the video and applying the, what is it called? The Bloom's taxonomy. That's just optional, right? That's just extra credit.
That's optional in case you wanted to do that, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So it's a challenging assignment, but
I'm not very technology savvy type of thing, so
I think you're fine right now, as I can tell from the assignments that you've turned in, and you're ahead of the game. So and with your background in psychology, I'm assuming some of this you have heard about before, some of the developmental theories. Okay. Have you taken development?
Yes.
Oh, you have. Okay. So you've probably gone into some different details, not so much connected to teaching.
Yes.
Yeah. So just in your responses here, make sure you connect it back to working with students in the classroom at whatever in your topic paper or in your exam responses.
Okay.
You take into consideration developmental theory. If you want to bring something in from your psychology classes, that's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Just make sure you cite it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'll try to go on. I guess early morning is the best for you, right?
Yes, because I work at a nail salon, and our hours are from 10 to 8. But then I live in Amherst County, so it takes me a while to go into lunch break and come back.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah.
So, but I post all of these, Zoom meetings, and I'll try to have another one, but I think everybody's schedule,
Yeah.
Shamir said he might be able to join us this morning, but there may have been some conflict. They're not required to join the meetings. It's just really a time for students to ask questions, for me to kind of go over some things where there were some confusion. I think most people are getting the concepts. It's the detail.
Yeah. It's the detail.
It's the detail, and really being like providing, if you say something about grit in the classroom, you're giving an example of, when she did her talk about the children who were in her math classes, right? And what are some of the characteristics? Or whenever you use a term, make sure you define the term, especially in the paper or in the exam, because in the exam, I'm looking for what you know. So sometimes students, when they're answering those questions, they'll say, oh, Dr. Schimler knows the stages, Piaget stages. So I'm just going to list them, but not describe them. But I'm looking so that you not only list them, but you're also describing them.
Okay.
And you can also, even though this textbook doesn't really go into some of the problems with Piaget's theory, if you know some of those, you can also put those in. That's why we study more Vygotsky in education than we do Piaget. But I always introduce Piaget, even though there are some challenges with Piaget's stage theory and his rigidness in the ages, and you probably studied that in your development class. So but you can bring any of that in as appropriate. And I do really kind of want students to lean more toward Vygotsky's theory, but they're connected, right? They're a bit connected. Vygotsky was a stage theorist, but he wasn't as rigid as Piaget. And some of his assessments, as you saw in the video, he uses more probing questions and tries to get a little bit more at children's metacognition.
Right. Okay. That works. So I just make sure writing it on my notes to be as detailed as possible and show examples. Yeah. I do have a question. When is the final paper due?
The final paper is due on the last day of class, which is the 12th. I think I did that.
And our final is due on the 11th? And our final is due on the 11th?
No. The final is due, I believe, on the 14th.
Okay.
Let me go to Dr. Soika.
Yeah, you're right. It's due on the 14th.
Okay. Yeah. So
it's due on the 11th. Okay.
Okay. So the 11th must be the last day of class.
Okay.
I'll confirm that, and I'll send a message out to everybody.
Okay.
I think the paper, we basically we have to follow the same procedures as we do on campus.
Okay.
So all work has to be submitted by the last day of classes, unless it counts for an exam.
Okay.
And then if it's not, by the time, whatever time I post it on there, if it's not, then it can't be counted.
Okay.
And then the final exam days are the 13th and 14th, I think.
Okay. And
I'm just looking at Dr. Soika sent us these dates. And it just has to be due, I believe, by 11:59 that night.
Okay.
And you can kind of work on it as much as you want. You can work on it over different sessions. I think I allowed, let me just see. Trying to see her dates here. I have a lot of emails about Moodle going down.
Oh no.
It went down during the first session.
Okay.
But so far, I'll look it up and I'll send people a note. I don't want to take the time to find it now, but
okay,
yeah. I had sent an email, but maybe it didn't go through.
No, I didn't get any. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I will definitely double check that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I was just more worried about the deadlines because I was looking through it, but I didn't see like the date for the topic paper. So that's why I was a little confused.
Okay, yeah, that's the last day of class, which is either the 11th or 12th.
Okay.
Here we go. The last day of class is August 12th. So the
Okay.
papers will be due at 11:59 that night.
August 12th at 11:59. Okay.
And then the exams are the 13th and 14th. And so they will be due, I believe they have to be submitted by, I can't remember, I think I put 5 o'clock. I think they have to be in by 5 o'clock on the 14th.
Okay. You put 11:59 on the 14th. So you,
okay. And I'm going to keep it at 11:59. It doesn't matter to me. I asked Dr. Soika if that was okay, if we could give people extra time because of work schedules, and she said that was fine.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so the paper is due on the 12th, and the final exam is due on the 14th. And the final exam is open notes, open Moodle resources. You just can't talk to somebody else about the exam.
Okay, sounds good.
How many summer classes have you been taking?
I just took 2. I took Miss Howell's class and then your class.
Okay.
I did some extra credit to go towards my degree.
Okay, good, good. Well, great. Any other questions?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay, well, it was nice meeting you face to face.
It was nice meeting you as well.
Yeah. And hopefully I'll see you on campus in the fall.
Yeah.
If you do in communication or sociology?
Sociology.
Sociology. Maybe you'll be on the 6th floor. That's where my office is.
Yeah, I think Ms. Dr. Carrier is up there this year.
Yes, he is. Yep. So, okay, well, great. If there's no other questions, I'm going to log off for now, and I'll see what other times I can try to log on. So if you either early mornings or what about late in the evening, like around, if I can get other people on around 10:30?
Yes, depending on the night. Usually Monday nights are pretty good, or Wednesday nights are pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if not, I'll record them. But so far, not a lot of people have had questions. So I think hopefully things are described pretty well.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Amanda.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was nice seeing you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.